Hey y'all, so you're looking at the two guns I have here. Let me give you a quick description. This firearm is a short barrel rifle AR-15 5.56. This is a short barrel rifle AR-15 300 Blackout, which I now have running extremely well with subsonics. So 6-inch Faxon barrel, Faxon lightweight bullet carrier, spring co, lightweight action spring, and a lightweight buffer. Now the gun's running great. So what I'm doing is this gun is going to become my kind of truck gun, for lack of better terms, the gun that's going to go places with me. My goal for today is to change out some lights on what was my truck gun. This is going to be my home defense gun. Quick synopsis. So I'm going with this 300 Blackout as my truck gun because out in the wild, I want an extremely quiet firearm that won't give away my location immediately and can still reach out to 150 yards. Under 100, it'll do some pretty good damage. With those subsonics, over 100, I'm still going to be poking some pretty decent holes in people if I need to. Worst case scenario, right? Worst case scenario. Type thing. And then this 5.56 gun right here, this will be my home defense gun. The reason I'm going to use a 5.56 for home defense is that it tends to penetrate less barriers than a lot of other rounds. The 5.56 is traveling at high velocity. So inside of a house, even with this 12.5-inch barrel, it will still reach out. It'll still reach the velocities it needs to reach to not penetrate as far through common house walls as, say, a heavier round like a 308 or a 12 gauge or even 9mm 45 ACP, things like that. So what I'm doing is I've got some new lights here. So I've been using the Cloud REIN. This is the 2.0. I love this light power-wise. This light power-wise is awesome. I love the fact it takes a rechargeable battery. That is great as well. Here's the two negatives I have for this light. One, it only takes rechargeable battery. So if I don't have the capability to recharge batteries, but I have the capability to find regular batteries of some kind, CR123s, AA's, AAA's, something, anything, I can't do anything with this. I can't use them in this. That, and then the switching, I've used this switching during a couple glove scenarios, some force on force stuff, a couple glove scenarios during low light and stuff. And I just don't find this switching to be that as good as other switching technology that I've come across. And so for instance, the Surefires that I'm switching out here, okay, there's multiple switches I can use. I can use right here, I have a Unity switch. I can use the standard Surefire pressure pad, the 007, I think it is. I can use a mod light button. So there's lots of switching. For this thing, there's no other switching options. This is it, the tail cap or this, or the combination thereof. And I understand why, because of the power, the way this thing puts out the power that it puts out, and it's got a lot of power. The way it does it, the circuitry in the tail cap has to be a certain way. And you can go to these manufacturers' websites, watch their videos, and they'll explain why and stuff like that. But for what I'm doing, these new Surefire turbos work as light-wise just as well as the REIN 2.0. Now, I could go out and get a REIN 3.0, but I'm still stuck with the switching, which the REIN 3.0 has more power than these turbos. It'll reach out brighter at distance, and I'm thinking mostly 100-yard stuff, because anything past 100 yards, if I don't have magnified optics, binoculars, something to see what I'm shooting at, there's a lot less chance that I will be able to engage something at that distance, because I don't know if I'll be able to actually shoot what I'm shooting at, that it's an actual threat. So I love these new turbos. Now, don't get me wrong, mod light will be another option. I think I'll be getting a mod light soon as well. The thing I like about mod light over Cloud as well is the fact that it uses Surefire tail caps. Now, I did watch a video with the I guess is the owner of mod light. He talked about having to go to a system like this to get more power out of his lights, and I get that. But if I can get commonality of switching across multiple platforms, or switching that I like, I should say, that's what I'm going to go with. And I just don't like this switch. I don't feel like I'm getting enough tactile feel on it, and I don't feel like I'm getting what I need to get and pushing the buttons the way I would like to, as easily as I'd like to be able to push them without focusing on them as much. And that's with a pretty decent amount of time of work behind practicing with that switch system. So I'm switching this out. So since this is my home gun, it doesn't quite need the same amount of power as my truck gun, because, you know, I doubt I'll be reaching out over 50 yards, even if I go out to the back of my yard, and wood lines and stuff like that, and neighbors' houses. You know, most I might be able to get us down the street, if that push came to shove kind of thing. But I'm going to put the smaller Surefire, this one right here, on this gun. I'm going to put my new Surefire on this gun and switch the tail caps around. And then I'm waiting on the new tail cap from Surefire, which will go on here. One of their tail caps with the pad activation system. So let's get started on this switching system right here and taking these parts off and getting things replaced. Now, since I'm putting a Surefire back on this one and it has their Surefire mounting system, I don't need to take the mount off. I just need to take the light off of the mount. So to do that, I'm going to take the head off. Okay. Unscrew the screw. Now, when I do finally have everything set up the way I want it set up, one of the things I've read and that makes completely sense, and I actually talked to a person today using these Surefire mounts, is I will need to Loctite this into the position I need it to be in, and I will do that as soon as I have the light 100%. I know this is the way I'm going to run the light. So, okay, so there's that set up. Now this needs to go on here. Simple. Take the head off. So the new 640 body, a longer body, to generate more power, will go on here. And as you can see, this is a KF2A DFT. This is a KF1A DFT head. So I don't know what the difference is, but those are the head types. So I'm gonna take this mount off here. This is the nice modularity of this setup as well. I do wish you still had the ability to go, I don't know if there's an engineering possibility of it, but to go with the traditional setup as well on one of these, like if this would come off or something. But nonetheless, I have what I need right here. So I took that 1913 attachment point off. I'm going to slide this on to, I'm using the M-Lock attachment point on here. I'm going to get the cord where I want it. I like the cord down below the light there. Well, I don't even need to do that right now because the light will just be sitting up here at the moment. Okay, let me rock this on. This gun's almost completely done. Now, there's one other thing I have to do to this gun. I'm waiting on a part for my Omega 9K can. I'm waiting on a direct mount for a rifle barrel, and then this will go on there, so that'll put the end of this gun right about here. It's not going to be quite as quiet, and I'm going to do some comparison stuff with that. It's not going to be quite as quiet with the Omega 9 can on there, I don't think, but it'll be a lot shorter, and which is gun I'm going for quiet and short. I'm looking for a good mix of the two, so that's why I'll see. I still want it to be extremely quiet. So there we go. So that's on there nice and tight at the moment. I'll take this tail cap off. Okay, so push button tail cap comes off. Pull the plug on this for a minute. The only thing I might end up upgrading to the other Surefire switch, the one that has the button on it, as well as the plug on there. Let's put the battery back in. The head back on. Okay. Check the mod light button, the Unity button. There we go. That's working. Everything seems to be working. I'm going to twist this, turn it on, twist this back to the off position. Actually, here's what we'll do. So, switch this to the, there we go. Okay. So I need to know, I know If I ever get this out, I need to rock that on just a little bit. But I don't want it accidentally going off my truck. For now, I don't want it to go off. It will just be in the on position because the way I'm going to store this, there's no chance of that light going off. So there you go. So my take out of the house gun, everyday use out of the house gun is ready. It's going to get a Magpul sling. It'll have the aim point magnifier on the Unity center rise mount, and it'll have a bunch of mags of Hornady 220 grain subsonics in it. So we'll see how that goes. Here we go. Oh, interesting note, what I did have to do on this, just, you know, to get these M-lock nuts into this Midwest Industries rail with the Surefire can, I had to grind these boys down a lot. So there's nothing sticking out past here once it's closed and locked. Because you can see it, I had it originally right there and it marked it up a little bit. I will be covering this spot with an M-lock slot so I get some more M-lock parts in, rail covers in. So that's that one. Okay, I'll move this aside. And now we'll take now is going to be my home defense gun. Okay, and we're going to start taking this sucker apart and getting these pieces off, putting the Surefire on there, and then tomorrow that switch. I have a different home defense gun. It's going to stay the way it is until this is done, but here we go. Okay, let's see what size these are. Slightly smaller. So that was a 1/8. Now I'm grabbing a 7/64. Now, again, I love the output and the technology that goes into this Cloud light. I absolutely love it. Cloud does a great job. They give a nice discount, all that kind of stuff as well. But nonetheless, it's just the lack of modularity of the switching system, or my lack of liking the switch, is what is getting me on this. That's it. It was the switch. I just had too many failures after practicing a whole bunch to say that I was comfortable with this switch, when honestly the Surefires, the mod light button, and the Unity switch just work so easily. So now to get this off the gun, I have to take the rear cap off. The button will come out. Cap's off. Push the button out. Come on, button. Come on out. Get this bungee off there. It's in there tight, I'll tell you that, folks. There we go. There's their switching. This switch is pretty high technology stuff right here, is my understanding. And this is what stops us from having different switches. If they ever do the ability to have click-in switches of different kinds, like a Unity switch or a mod light button, I'd probably switch back to this in a heartbeat. So, okay, that's off. Now let's take the switch cap off. So now I can access the Haley mount on here to take this off. Okay, there we go. One of the M-locks fell out. Let's see what we got here. There we go. Okay. Keep all these parts together. Honestly, this will probably end up going off on my son's airsoft gun, or my airsoft gun. And what that means is this thing will probably get a lot of use during airsoft, because I do use my light a lot during my airsoft play at the indoor fields, just to get manipulation in it, not even for tactical advantage. I do think it provides a tactical advantage at times. I'm not giving my location away. So there we go. Still on. Right on. Okay. Now let's mount the Surefire M-lock mount up to the gun. What I'm going to do is probably mount here like this, and then rotate the body on like that, so it's nice and tight. That's how I like my lights, nice and tight to the upper right corner, or the like 1 o'clock of the rifle at this point, because I have no other devices on the gun that need to move that out of its position. Plus, if I go left-handed and it has a thumb plate, I can reach it with my thumb real easy. Let's see if this come on. Have to make some adjustments here. M-lock, it's a finicky little guy. This new mounting system, you know, I like the fact they give you two options. You know, you're running a full 1913 rail, or you want to mount to the top, you got the 1913 slot or the M-lock slots. It's a nice option. You know, you can run it this way, or you can run it this way, depending on where you're putting it, right? For this location, this works the best. I like my light sticking very far forward. Now, so there's something to think about, right? You'll notice this light I had on a long bar style light. So I pushed the light forward like this. So this new light's going to be sitting back a little bit. You know, so who knows? Maybe if there's a way for me to push this out eventually, I will push it out. I'll take it off and push it out, because that would be ideal. Just have less shadowing from the suppressor downrange. When I push it out, less shadowing means less things I can miss that are close to me. Okay, that's on. I will put the body on. So you saw that the particular wrench I'm using is hitting. So let's get this Surefire can off. There we go. Now for now, I'm just going to rock it up like that. And eventually I'll undo it. It doesn't need to go on super tight. I'm going to undo it because the pressure pad will be going on. I have to move it for the pressure pad and the switching, the switch and stuff like that. So the head doesn't go on right there. So let's do this. So let's put the head on. The head's going to change the position slightly. Okay, so I have the new my Surefire switcher that I'm going to use. Let me put this tail cap on. Tighten this up a hair so it doesn't move as easy. Okay. I put the, interesting. So something I don't like here, I gotta figure out if there's a way to change this. The button is on the inside and the wire's on the outside. So the wire's gonna be covering the button, which if this was on the other side of the gun, that would be fine. The whole point is I want the button so I can do left-hand activation should I need it. So very interesting. So I wonder, is there anything I can do to fix that problem? Like you can't just run it there. There's nothing there. Plus it won't activate because you don't have battery connection, right? So let's have battery connection. We lost it the second that goes there. So I can't run it there that I know of. There's no adjustment for that on light, right? And there's nothing inside here that turns to make it switch. There's nothing that I can do to get, oh, wait, look at that. Boom, there we go, it does. So see that? Look at that. Okay, so now I can get this light off. So my goal is to get this out here. So let's do this. Let's put this on here, start turning it on. So I want the switch like this. Let's see if I can get the switch to the... There we go. So when it's down too tight, it won't turn, but now it does. Just like that. Okay, so let's check something. Okay, so let me loosen the connection. Oh, it's already loose. I want this out there like that. Now I'll zip tie this eventually. Okay, just so you know. So no, don't get all tight on me. It's not going to be sitting right there doing nothing. Here's the plug. We get the plug to the outside. Get this under there. So that's as tight as it can go. Okay, so that's on there pretty tight. Okay, now if I go left-handed, I can manipulate the button like that. I would probably like to see the button up here, so let's loosen that up and move that button. So loosen the tail cap. See what happens now. Yeah, that's a little bit more of an ergonomic position for me. Okay, there we go. So that seems to be good. I'll play with that. I can make adjustments, which is nice to know. Thank you, Surefire, for being adjustable. Okay, right on. Okay, so move the tools out of the way, put the suppressor back on. So there's my home defense gun flashlight setup. Here's the whole gun. Now you have the, got a Magpul buttstock, BCM buttstock, BCM grip on this gun. Some oil leakage there from last time I did it. I'm running a standard mil-spec trigger in it. The reason is this is a... Nope, this isn't a stag lower. So this will get a new trigger in it eventually. If it's not already, I had one aftermarket trigger that is by somebody I don't know I got years ago, and it's definitely nicer than your standard mil spec. And this might be it. I'd have to check. Let's see. Put the safe to fire. Yeah. So I don't know who makes this trigger. I got this long time ago, and it's definitely lighter. It's nicer. So otherwise, it's standard gun. Do you have an Radiant Weapons ambi charging handle? You got the aim point Duty RDS on a Unity mount. It got the Impact Weapons Components offset sling mount. I'm running a Faro Concepts sling. You can see I have the sling holder. This one's purchased off of Haley Strategic. It's their gray color, but I have them from the company that makes them too. I forget what it is off the top of my head. I do have my Frank Pocher bolt catch. I have a Radian 45 degree safety on it. I think it's a Radian. I forget. No, I don't think it's a Radian. Now that I look at it, it's not a Radian. That will be getting replaced with a Radian. I just like the Radians a lot. And it'll be single side like this one. What else is special on this thing? The Frank Packer bolt catch. I love these a lot. If you're not looking to do an ambi bolt catch, that thing is a great bolt catch. I highly recommend it. That's it. That's the gun. So that'll be my home defense gun right there. Now, oh yeah. So another concept. They're like, oh, don't run a suppressor on it. That way there's lots of muzzle flash and noise to confuse and disorientate the enemy in your house and stuff like that. I'm more worried about making my children go deaf and my wife and me go deaf in the house than I am the muzzle, me flash banging the bad guys. Just the way it is. That's my worries. So if this is going bang, that means it's a bad time. Situation's going down. There's things going on downrange, and people are probably getting an even dispersal of justice their way. So that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Any questions, hit me up in the comments below. And want to see anything, let me know. Please follow, like, share, subscribe to my emails. That's how you get my content as well, because subscribing on the different social media platforms isn't always reliable anymore. So, and I'll keep throwing upgrades and builds and things like that your way. Talk to y'all soon. Be safe.